the subject that I'm talking about today, which I would like for you guys to avoid, is really seeking instant gratification. The majority of people, they start a coaching session or they start a new path with a different coach, or they, sign up for some training event, or they go to an event, etc. The drive to go and hire a coach, or the drive to go and go for training or go to an event or study or read a book, etc., is a good drive. It's great, but you need to really focus and try to find out what it is specifically that you're seeking, and make sure that you're not seeking instant gratification. Now, our business is about a long-term commitment. I always talk about that. I devoted a chapter in my book for that, so people understand it's not about, I truly don't believe that it's about real estate. Your success in this business is about you and your self-development process. If you are willing to devote yourself, like really devote yourself to self-development, correct all the things you know that you need to correct in yourself. For example, seeking instant gratification is one of those things. I start prospecting. I got this new script that I want to use. Okay, I want to go and I want to practice the script. And I practice the script. Then I get on the phone and I make phone calls. So I make 10 phone calls and I get some weird vibe, like it's not working. And immediately I'm going to look into the script and say, well, what's wrong with the script? I'm talking about having 20, 30 students in a class and everybody's making phone calls. We understood that it's not about so much what you say, but about your inner energy and your ability to mimic, mirror, and match the person you're speaking with. Therefore, you cannot think about what to say. It's a long-term game. It's not about making 10 phone calls. It's about making 1,000 phone calls using a script without changing anything other than you, yourself, your attitude, your energy, your rate of speech, how good you are with the script, how good you are jumping in and out of the script, etc. I'm just talking script right now because a lot of people who come in to study scripts, they don't feel comfortable using them. They feel like a salesperson. And by the way, all these feelings that are involved in using scripts is really self-development work that needs to be done. It has nothing to do with the script. The best salespeople in the world are using script. Test what I'm telling you. If you make 500 FISBO calls, you will get some listings. 100%. I never met anyone who made 500 phone calls and never got any listings from it. So the fear is kind of connecting itself to this instant gratification. I need success now. I need money. Therefore, I got to go out there and I got to do it. And then you go out for one day. Normally, the majority of people who try out the system, or any system, by the way, I was following the Mike Ferry system for 10 years. At the beginning, when I started with coaching, I hired a coach in 2000. And I followed the same coaching system. And then I used another coaching system. And then I combined both. And then long term, I looked back, like if I'm looking back today, if I go out there right now and I take 50 different systems with 50 different coaches, and I'm looking at what they teach, at the core of it is always the same stuff. I don't believe in magic. I don't believe in instant gratification. Why I don't believe in it? Because I never saw it. I never met anyone who succeeded in our business instantaneously, just, oh, I was born for it and I'm doing it and here I am. It's not going to happen. You need to invest a lot of time in yourself, and you need to know this is a long-term game. Now, what is so bad about instant gratification? So instant gratification is really going to lead you to make impulsive decisions. When you're impulsive, you're not connected to yourself. You're not connected to yourself. You have anxiety. Maybe your driven forces could even be fear of loss, fear of not having, fear of success even. It's going to lead you to make impulsive decisions, which is going to delay your long-term achievement of your goals. So because people that seek instant gratification, they stop before they reach the goal because they need it instantaneously. We all know it takes time. It takes time. Everything takes time. If you want to start mastering FISBOs, that's going to probably take. Look, I'm telling you the truth right now. You want to like perfect, master working with for sale by owners, you're probably looking into, first of all, I'm talking a lot of work. And I can mention to you what your schedule should look like, studying it and going into it. But it's not going to be less than minimum 12 months, fully committed, 5-6 days a week, calling FISBOs daily, visiting their homes, and going through their objections and failing and failing and failing and failing and failing and failing and failing. It's failing forward, really, because you're learning from it. So, and then you learn more, and the more you learn, the less you make mistakes, and now you're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with the process, with going in. So now you understand, okay, it's a phone call, I got to go visit, then I got to go do some homework, then I got to go back in for a listing presentation. It's a longer process. It's not like someone calls you, hey, I want to sell my home, why don't you come and list it? If you've been in the business, by the way, for more than 5 years, we can all agree on the following thing. If you're looking at your 5-year goals in front of you, here's where I want to be in 5 years, okay? If the person in your seat is going to stay exactly the same as he was 5 years ago, you're going to be exactly where you are right now in 5 years. If nothing will change, you're still going to be the same instincts. You know, you try something, you stop, you try something else, you stop, you try something else, you go back to what you used to do. You know, what made you feel comfortable? Oh, you know, I know how to do this, but I don't know how to. So you stay in your seat. You're not willing to feel uncomfortable long enough in order to break this self-image that you have. It's like you're in a box and you're trying to expand the box. The only way to expand the box is through pain. It's got to go through some pain. Okay, the pain can be emotional pain. Doesn't feel so good when people reject you. It doesn't feel good when you're calling someone and they hang up on you. It doesn't feel good when, you know, someone chooses someone else to list their home with. It doesn't feel so good. So slowly it's breaking you. And if you're seeking instant gratification, obviously you're not going to stay in the game, or you're getting out of the game altogether, or you're trying to do something that's kind of simpler, that you don't have to learn anything special or go through some pain and uncomfortable, so that you can still do real estate. And that's where everybody ended, or anybody who works with a lot of emotions. It's very hard to be in this business. I spoke with a lady about, I don't know, a month ago. She reached out to me and she said she was very disappointed because her next door neighbor, who is, if I remember correctly, somehow connected to the family. I think maybe it's a daughter of a cousin or something like that. Long story short, they've been in touch for years. All of a sudden, one morning, she goes out of the house and she sees a for sale sign on the yard next door. Now, this is a lady that she's been in touch with, I mean, for 30 years. And she was so disappointed that she didn't get that listing. And I asked her, did you ever reach out to your neighbor talking about real estate and offering her a free home evaluation, or telling her that you're a realtor? Oh, she knows I'm a realtor. I understand she knows that. But did you ever have any conversation about, did you ever approach her? Did you ever converse with her about selling or buying or any of that? No, we never spoke about that. So why are you so disappointed? Someone else called her, had a conversation with her. It could even be someone calling a FISBO or cold calling. You know, someone cold calling, just sold, someone door knocking, whatever the story is. She didn't go online, by the way, searching for a realtor. And I explained to her, I said, look, if you're not going to be in touch, like really close touch with all your friends and family, and when you call them, you're not calling to schmooze like you normally call, but you're calling with a scripted, like a scripted conversation. And you say, hey, Jordy, this is Ran Biderman. Listen, I'm sitting at work right now in the conference room. I just met with the owner. And I wanted to ask you, and then I go on my script, because now he knows that I'm not chilling, you know, and this is more like a serious business, you know, and my script is very short, so I'll get right to it. I don't have to I can do the schmoozing, hey, Jordy, how are you, blah, 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 and then I'll say, hey, listen, by the way, I'm sitting in the conference room in my office right now. I was just meeting with my broker, or we just had an office meeting, or I just got off a Zoom conversation about a very important subject, and I wanted to include you in this conversation, and then I go from there. Again, if I'm going to use an approach like that, and I'm seeking instant gratification, I want quick results, I will probably make 5, 10, maybe 15 calls. 90% of the people will quit way before they get to number 15. They'll make some calls and I don't really like this thing. I don't feel it's not me. I don't know. It's not for me. It's not. I don't like the script. I don't like the language. I don't like how it's written. And trust me, I worked many times one-on-one with people correcting their own script and creating a script that's comfortable for them. But that doesn't mean that they're going to get result with the script. It's all about feeling comfortable with who you are. It's feeling comfortable asking questions. It's feeling comfortable. Now, if you role played a script, any script, I write it, you write it, someone else is writing it, but you're role playing it and you're making it yours, you can become more successful more quickly. So it's not about the results. It's about going for the no, because you want to fail many times. And by the way, if I told you, hey, go now and take this flyer in your hand, and I want you to go door knock 200 homes. I'm not saying that that's what I'm telling you, but let's just hypothetically. Hey, take this flyer, go door knock 200 homes. Use this script when they open the door. Smile and have good attitude. That's all you need. Use the script, smile, have good attitude, give it to them when they open the door. And that's all I want from you. By the time you finish these 200 doors or 200 calls or etc., you will get some appointments. You will get some leads. You will get something going on. And the most importantly, what you've already gotten is you actually told many people in the area who you are, which is branding. So you got to show up professionally, got to wear a nice, outfit. You go out there, be nice, be friendly, be polite, and just go out there and have this conversation. So if you do that door knocking, or you're doing it on the phone, or you're calling leads, or whatever, whichever way you choose to do it, you're going to get results. If you seek instant gratification, you're going to fail. And many people, the majority of people are not going to fail too many times before they quit whatever it is that they're doing. So they're not going, I don't want to do sales anymore. No, it's not for me. I'm going to work with buyers. Yeah, I don't like to, convince a buyer to sign an agreement. It feels weird. It doesn't feel natural. It feels like I'm selling something. That's not going to fly, because you're not a chauffeur. And if you go out right now and showing people within 6 months, you're not getting paid. So you just work for free. What's going to happen next? Many people will feel uncomfortable with the new changes because they're not doing the self-development. They're not putting themselves in many situations that makes them feel uncomfortable in order for them to get used to it so they can feel comfortable feeling uncomfortable. Many people are not going to do that. The majority of agents in your market that are competing with you are not going to do it. And therefore, and I read this is not my statistics, but I read it online, that they think about 40% of the agents will quit this year. I believe it, because the majority of people that work in our industry are not willing to do what it takes to become successful. They are seeking instant gratification, and they're not willing to make any changes. This is who I am. If you don't like it, here's the door. So if that's the attitude of most people, and they're not going to make a change, they're not going to feel uncomfortable calling people, feeling uncomfortable using a script, etc., then they only have one option, which is leave the business. And the agents that went through the self-development, that went through this, difficult time of changing themselves and going to, align with who they need to be at point B in order to match the goals. Look, your 5-year goal, okay, that's ahead of you, and you're looking there, your 5-year goal over there needs you to be a better version of yourself before you can reach those goals. So you got to work on yourself. You got to get up earlier every morning. You got to have a morning routine. You got to follow a system. You got to follow a routine. You got to follow a schedule. You need to stick to your schedule. Schedule has to reflect achieving the goals. So for example, if you got to make 20, 30 contacts every day and you're only doing 2, 3, 4, obviously you're not on the right path for that 5-year goal. So what needs to change in you? What needs to change in you, about you, in order for you to be able to go to that destination? If on your business plan it's written that you got to make like 30 calls a day, and you're making half of that or less than half of that, or you're calling 30 one day and then 5 the other day and then 20 the next day and then 3 the other, and on, and you're not really aligned with the new behavior because you're busy or you feel uncomfortable, or I got this thing, someone called me, I had to go here, I had to do this, and you continue with excuses and excuses and excuses, you're not on the path to success. And that's what I'm saying. You're not aligned with who you need to be when you reach the 5-year goal. 5-year goal may call a way more self-disciplined person. It may call someone who wakes up a lot earlier than you do and goes to sleep earlier than you do and have different habits that you don't have yet. You might call for, maybe you need to, there's so many different things. Each and every one of you is different. And we got to work on you, in different, about different subjects and different issues. Each one of you have fears and anxieties about different things. We need to know what it is specifically so that we can give you the tools to work around it and attack it and face it, and then get it done so that you can move to point B. If I want to make 500,000 a year, and last year I made 100, I got to change a lot of stuff in order to go to 500. I might need to use leverage. I need to invest more money in my business marketing. I need to be a lot more disciplined. I need to wake up earlier. I got to exercise every day. I got to be sharp and focused so my body doesn't break through this hard work of major blast and all the activities that we do in order for you to gain momentum and then do it again and again and again. And, to build mega momentum so that, you want to go to 500,000 a year. It's not going to be the same as 100. Another thing I want to tell you about buyers and sellers. I want to be a listing agent, but right now 80% of my business is a buyer agent. That's a problem. You got to make some serious changes if you want, or 90% of your business coming in from buyers, and you want to go to 50-50 or 70-30, 70% sellers and 30% buyers. If you want to do something like that in your business, and by the way, if you want to go to 500 and above, you have to go through this. You have to become a listing agent. Then you need to develop skills of a listing agent. You need to get used to using scripts and follow the right questions and ask the right questions and handle objections the right way. And having the patience and the stamina and building a strength inside of you so that you don't quit and you don't feel uncomfortable. And even if you feel uncomfortable, you're not doing anything about it. It's just like part of the process. Okay, I'm going to go through it. It's very important how you behave. It's a lot more important how you behave than using tools and systems and buying leads and all that stuff, because that has nothing to do with point B achievement if you're not ready. Now, if we get you ready to meet with point B as a human being, with your self-discipline, with your schedule, aligning everything on a business plan, knowing exactly what you need to do every day, and then just go and execute it, and then being held accountable to execute. For example, if your daily goal is 30 contacts and you only did 7, what's the problem? The problem is that you're not capable to hold yourself accountable to do what you said. So we need to work on integrity and self-integrity. And we need to start giving you exercises that have nothing to do with real estate to go and achieve integrity. And then you come back into real estate and continue to work on achieving the goals, because you need to have a certain level of self-integrity if you want to reach that level. So there's a lot of things that need to align. You can use different systems and read countless books and listen to podcasts and YouTube videos and you name it. But it's not going to happen until you make that change. If you know that you're someone who seeks instant gratification, you know yourself to be that person, then you need to work on it immediately and understand that instant, it's a childish expectation behavior. You cannot expect to have quick results from what you're looking for. It takes time, okay? If I'm going to throw a question at you, as like an objection, okay? Never heard about your company, never heard about you. The other agent told me he's going to, charge me less than you. Like, I'm going to throw these at you and see how you behave. Or I'm going to tell you what's so unique about you that I should choose you to list my house. The majority of people are going to answer, because I work hard for my clients and I'm very knowledgeable and I'm really going to take good care of you and I'm going to make sure that you have everything you need. Everybody says that. But what's unique about you? What's so unique about you? Now, if you haven't gone through self-development process, you don't even know what's unique about you because you didn't discover yourself yet. That's why I go back to self-development. Self-development is discovering who you are doing the DISC profile, understanding your assessment, and then working with the assessment and with your style, understanding it, your instincts, how they work, understanding the instincts, and then work on improving them so you can align with who you need to be. It's not an easy work. It's not an overnight process. It takes a long time, and you need to be fully committed. You got to be fully committed to do the self-development. And then you can become a top producer. You can say, I'm going to be top producer just who I am. I'm good enough to know. You're not, because obviously you've been in the business for a while and you're not there yet. You're seeking higher levels of success. So, summarizing this session, remember one thing. Instant gratification, if you're seeking instant gratification, you're on the wrong path, and you need to realign with the truth that it's not going to happen so quickly. It's going to take time before you become successful. You got to work on yourself, okay? I wrote a few other points regarding what happens when you seek instant gratification. Like number 2 on my points here is financial insecurity. You're causing yourself to have financial insecurity because you're seeking quick results. Therefore, you keep quitting whatever it is that you're doing, or you're not doing it long enough, or you're not doing it enough times. You reduce your self-discipline when you do that. By the way, if you promise yourself that you're going to make 30 contacts every day, and then you're not doing that, inside of yourself, you're starting a process of not really believing your commitments. Yeah. I know I made many commitments before. What's so different going to be? Like, how is this going to be different? And you have this self-doubt. And the self-doubt is growing every single time you say you'll do something and you end up not doing it. It's like you're shaving a piece of yourself, and you have less self-discipline, obviously, and your overall security in yourself, you're not as self-assured as you should be. And I mean, it's really digging holes and creating more problems for you to achieve what you need to achieve. Failing is part of succeeding. You cannot succeed without failing. It's the only way, by the way, to succeed. You got to go fail. Some of you might need to make 100 phone calls to achieve the first, yes, I want to meet with you. Let's see what you've got. You got a listing appointment. You call 100 people to get one listing appointment. Another person can call 20 people and get a listing appointment. Someone else can call 300 people to get a listing appointment. Each of you is in a different place. But I promise you that the next time you're going to get an appointment is not going to take you that long. If it took you 100 phone calls, next time will take you less because you feel better. You also know that you got some success. You also learned what not to say. You also learn to be more patient on the phone. You also learn maybe to mimic and mirror. Maybe you're starting to ask questions and listening to what they're telling you so you can figure out, is that a D profile, an I, an S, a C? Like, is this person analytical? Is he a driver? Is it an influential person? You got to learn all these skills, and it takes time. That's what I'm saying. It takes time. Give it time. Don't think that this is, guys, you didn't go 5 years to the university in order to become a real estate agent. That's one of the problems in our industry. You go 30 days for a quick course, memorizing some stuff, and then you go take a multiple option, multiple choice test, and you get your license. You don't have to be a genius to do that. It's going to take you between 30 and 60 days to get your license. That's the problem, and why so many people quit, because they don't take seriously education, coaching, mentoring, training, reading, learning, and taking time to make the change. Look around. The majority of agents that are good agents have been in the business for at least 5 years, 10 years plus. Why? Because they went through the pain, the failure, and all, the multiplications of failures in order to be where they are. It's not about the company that you're with. It has nothing to do with the brokerage. It's not about your coach. It's not about the system you're following or the book you're reading. It's always about you. It's about you. So there could be many things in your past that you got to leave behind you and move forward. You can't continuously, having this leash on your neck, pulling you back. You got it. So all of that stuff that I was talking about right now is about 10% of what I have to say to cover what it takes to become successful in this business or any other business. But everything goes back to self-development, doing the work, going through the pain, going through. It's a long process. I never saw anybody becoming successful in this business in less than 36 months. I'm talking real success, sustainable success, not, oh, last year I sold 37 homes and, in the last 12 months, I only sold 7. Or 5 years ago, I sold 67 homes, and then the year after I sold 30, and the year after I sold 7, and last year I just did 3 deals. I'm talking about you're closing 20 deals last year. This year, you're already on path to do maybe 27, 30, 35. Next year, maybe we'll do 45, 50. And you keep climbing, because in each step, you need to do different things in your business. And then you need to start hiring people. And if the people you hire are not doing the self-development work that you did to reach where you've reached, and if you haven't done it yourself and you're hiring someone and you're not disciplined and you didn't do the self-work, they're not going to do it, and then your entire team is not doing it, and then you're not going anywhere. So yeah, I believe in self-development. I think that this is what the success is all about. I invite you guys to jump in it, understand the long process, make the commitment, get somebody to hold you accountable, and start working on yourself. So, but completely eliminate. Remember, today's call is about seeking instant gratification. Nothing good comes out of that at all. So, and by the way, airtime. If someone tells me, Ran, I'm almost broke and I'm starting real estate, I say, okay, go get a job. And when you have at least 12 months of bills paid in your savings account, come back and call me and let's relaunch your business then. You're not ready. You can't starve and then do this business, because this energy is not the right energy for success. You're not aligned. You're not synchronized. All right. Any questions in relation to what we spoke today? Open microphone.